Hey everyone, Final here. Today, I'll be painting up March's miniature of the month, the Darkoath Marauder. So I'm painting her up fully assembled. No sub-assemblies this time. I've already primed the model with grey cere. I'm starting off with Darkoath flesh. I'll be using that on any exposed skin, like on the head, the arms, and the abdomen. After all the Darkoath flesh is on there, I'll wash it all with Guilliman flesh. You can also go with your own skin tone recipe if you want. I'm just going with a quick and easy recipe. Once we have a nice wash on all of the skin, I'll let the model dry for about 15 to 30 minutes. Then it'll be ready for everyone's favorite part, the dry brushing. I'll be doing a light dry brush using Kislev flesh. I'm really only looking to brighten the raised parts of the skin. Too much Kislev flesh will make the model look really weird. With the skin done, I'll be using Mornfang brown for the hair. Once again, feel free to use your own recipe. Once the hair is nice and brown, I'll wash it all with Agrax Earthshade. Once that wash is dry, I'll do a dry brush using XV88. The heavier you dry brush, the lighter the hair will be. And finally, to wrap up the head, I'll use a little bit of grey cere for the teeth. So far so good. Now for the shirt, I guess, I'll be using Mephiston Red. Then I'll wash it with Berserker Bloodshade. And carefully dry brush it with Evil Sun Scarlet. Now for the pants, I'll be using Mechanicus Standard Grey. I'll be using the same color for the wrist wraps. I'll then be using Corvus Black for the base of the boots. I'll also use it for any other leather parts, like the belt and the other straps. For the top of the boots, I'll use Storm Vermin Fur. It's a really thin paint, so it might take 3 to 4 coats. And finally, I'll wash everything that I just painted with Nuln Oil, thinned 1:1 with Lamian Medium. The Lamian Medium dilutes the Nuln Oil a bit, so there's less of a mess to clean up. I like washing everything this way because it helps tie everything together. And then, of course, I'll wait the customary 30 minutes. And there we go. The recesses are shaded, and the cleanup should be minimal. The downside is that the contrast between the shade and the highlight won't be as pronounced. I think that's an okay sacrifice to make for this model. Can't forget about the dry brush. I'll be doing a very light dry brush using Dawnstone on everything that I just washed. That'll give the clothes a little bit more definition. Now for the, I guess it's a loincloth, I'll be basing it with Corn Red. I'll then wash it with Berserker Bloodshade, and then dry brush it with Wazdaka Red. Almost time for the metallics, but first, I'll paint this little skull with Xandri Dust. Now, before I wash the skull, I'll paint both sides of the shield using Dryad Bark. And then I'll wash both the skull and the shield using Agrax Earthshade. To finish these up, I'll do a light dry brush on the skull using Ushapti Bone. And then I'll do a heavier dry brush on the shield using Gorthor Brown. Alright, finally, onto the metallics. I'll be starting off with Iron Warriors on the different bits of armor, the sword blade, and the rim of the shield. I'll then switch over to Runelord Brass for the shield boss and spikes, the knee armor thing, the sword hilt, and the necklace rune. After giving the metallics some time to dry, I'll wash both the Iron Warrior and the Runelord Brass using Agrax Earthshade, thinned 1:1 with Lamian Medium. Agrac's Earthshade is a good color for the Runelord Brass, and it'll typically give it more definition. On the other hand, the Iron Warrior paint will look more rusty and old. I'll then go in and dry brush the metallics using Canoptic Alloy, just a little bit to brighten up the edges. Canoptic Alloy is a pretty neutral color, so it'll work both for the Iron Warrior and the Runelord Brass. And finally, to give the model a little bit of chaos flavor, I'll add on some Poxwalker, thinned 2:1 with Lamian Medium. And that's how the full model looks. Now I just throw some stuff on the base, and we have March's miniature of the month, the Darkoath Marauder. It wasn't a bad model to paint. The stance is very wide, and the details are very prominent. It just happened to be a repeat mini of the month, so it dulled my enthusiasm a little bit. That's alright though, free plastic is always good. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.